forecast 70-degree night in Central Florida. We welcome you to Amway Arena in downtown Orlando for what has developed into a physical series. Game 3 Sunday night at its testy moments, leading to 58 personal fouls, 2 technicals, and 86 free throws in all. Things starting to get chippy for both teams. It will be the usual sellout crowd, better than 17,000 making their way in as we get ready for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic. The Magic looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the series, and the Cavaliers try to even things up at 2 apiece. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Doug Collins will be joined momentarily by Craig Sager. Craig working the sidelines. Let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups for the Cavs. LeBron James, who did score 41 in Game 3, but shot just 11 for 28, and he needs help. It's been a disappointing series for Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Mo Williams, and the Cavalier bench. For the Magic, Dwight Howard, who demonstrated in Game 3 that, yes, he can hit his free throws. Hedo Turkoglu looking to bounce back from that 1 for 11 the other night. And Rafer Alston, who helped to jumpstart Orlando, had his best game of the series. Now, Doug, what do you see as the keys for tonight's Game 4?
Well, Marv, as we see LeBron James, Cleveland is at their best when they have more balance on the offensive end. LeBron James has 43% of their points in this series, 49% in the second half. You talked about other guys having to step up and make some shots, and Dwight Howard really changed the whole personality of these series. In Game 1, he was 14 of 20, had 26 points in the paint, 6 dunks, so he said, we're going to go to the double team. In Game 2, he had only 10 points, and then in Game 3, they went to fouling. He had 24 points, got to the line 19 times, and made 14 of those. So the whole personality changed on how they were going to defend Dwight Howard. The bench production, it's been Michael Pietrus, 39 points, outscoring the Cleveland bench that only has 27, a little over 14 points a game advantage for the Magic off the bench. And then how about the fourth quarter story? All the drama in Cleveland. In Game 1, it was Lewis and Turkoglu. Lewis with a game winner. They combined for 21 in the fourth quarter. And then it was Game 2. It was James and Mo Williams, 15 in the fourth quarter. LeBron James three-pointer that won that game at the buzzer. And then in Game 3, Magic hit 19 of 23 free throws in that fourth quarter. Howard 8 of 10. We talked to Mike Brown before the game, and he said they're going to still continue to foul him, so that free throw line might be the story here again tonight.
And for the Cavaliers, it is their second must-win game of the series, and it's only Game 4 for LeBron James. This may be the biggest game of his NBA career, but the Cavs in danger of falling behind 3-1.
And Marv, you know, LeBron is capable. We've seen him through the years. We've seen him go to Detroit and that show he put on there in Game 5. But still, he's going to have some help. Some of these guys are going to have to make some shots early so that he doesn't wear down in that fourth quarter. The last couple of games, he's had some turnovers. He has not shot the ball well. He needs to be fresh in that fourth quarter.
Dwight Howard stealing the tip. So the Cavaliers will take possession. The officials, Scott Foster, Mike Callahan, Joe DeRosa, Williams and West at the guards, with Ilgauskas, Varejao, and James on the front line. Williams setting the pick. And a foul. No, defensive 3 is called. So a technical foul awarded.
I do like that first possession, though. Cleveland had movement in their offense. And Marv, the thing that I have seen is when they've gotten in trouble, they've gotten stagnant. They've had very little player movement, very little ball movement, and they get caught watching LeBron James. And Marv, it's easy to do. When a guy's playing that great, you have a tendency to want to stay out of his way. That cannot be the case here tonight.
Do you have the feeling that LeBron has lost confidence in his teammates?
I don't think there's any question that he doesn't trust them quite as much. That's human nature, especially when he's going to bear the brunt of the winning and losing. And he had 49 and 41 in their 2 losses.
And here's Alston for 3. So Rafer Alston was able to get the Magic off to that quick start the other night, as he did in Game 7 in the victory in Boston. Opens up with a 3-point shot.
Yeah, he had 11 points in that first quarter. Finally, Orlando won a first quarter. He was 5 of 6, so off to another good start here tonight. He made his first jump shot.
Varejao has been very quiet following the opening minutes of Game 1. Misfired on that shot.
But to follow that up, Marv, he had 6 points in the first minute and 30. He's had 16 points in the last 94 minutes.
They double on Howard. Good ball movement. Lewis on the drive, and it's deflected out. Last touch by the Cavs.
The toughest matchup is for Varejao. And if you're not going to post and not be able to rebound, and you can see what he's done in the last 11 quarters, he's chasing Rashard Lewis out on the perimeter, and Marvin's taking him off the boards. He's only getting 4 rebounds a night.
Turgolo puts it up for Howard. Nice play by Hito Turgolo. A 5-1 lead for the Magic. They doubled up on James, and he lost it. He was fouled. Foul on Turgolo.
Well, you can see what the Cleveland is doing here early. They're trying to run some action to run LeBron James into that low post, but you can see 3 defensive players around him. The foul is called, but they'd like to see LeBron catch that ball maybe closer to the basket and be able to attack before he can be swarmed with multiple defenders.
Here's Williams putting a move on Lee, and he scores. Mo Williams, who has shot very poorly in this series after shooting 47% during the regular season. And that's the big factor here tonight. Can Mo Williams get back into it at the offensive end? As Howard goes up, he's hit from behind. And Dwight Howard will go to the line. Foul on Varejao. And for more on Mo, let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, after guaranteeing a victory yesterday, Mo Williams decided he better do something to prepare to make sure that he did something to make sure that it happened. At 8:30 this morning, 12 hours before tip and an hour and a half before their shoot-around this morning, he was out here in full lather, working hard at every possible shot with people running at him in his face. I asked him why he came so early. He said, listen, I'm not a streak shooter. I can't turn it on and off. I am not in a rhythm. I'm married to guarantee. I have to come out here, try to find a rhythm. I said, do you have one? He goes, yeah, I just don't know if I can carry it for 12 hours into the game. But he looks good so far.
All right, Dwight Howard, who hit 14 of 19 the other night. 1 of 2 here. You know, for what it's worth, I know he kind of guaranteed the win for the Cavs tonight. When you're asked by a reporter, can you win tonight? What are you going to say? Although you could pull it back a little as West rims out and it's knocked out of bounds. Guys should soften it. They say, well, I like our chances.
I agree with that. I agree. You know what happens sometimes? Guys sit down and they start talking, and they get led to certain areas. You can see now, Mark, 34% and 30%. In the regular season, he shot 44% from behind the three-point line, and he and West and Ilgauskas have all gone cold at the same time.
2 minutes gone by. Williams rebounded by Lee.
And Orlando wants to push this ball. They want to play in a transition so they can do that. Get quick post-ups for Dwight Howard. Run him deep to the front of the rim. Get in the ball quickly so they cannot double-team him.
And Howard able to hit on that hook shot that has had its ups and downs. Still working on coming up with a go-to move. Williams draws the foul. Nice fake, and Alston went for it.
See, one of the things I think that's bothered Mo Williams, I think he's been a little bit quick with his shooting. Sometimes what happens, you get out of rhythm. And what they're doing is they run this, what they call a little flex action, where you run a little cut with LeBron over the top to the post, and then Mo Williams, after he sets the screen, comes up off a screen. They're running that play to get some motion here. We have not seen much of that in the series, and more importantly, you saw him use the ball fake that time. And I don't think he's used that enough. Ball fake, that time lean in, you get the fouls, or a ball fake, get the guy in there, use the escape dribble, and free yourself up for maybe a two-pointer instead of a three.
You saw the numbers on Mo Williams, and overall coming into tonight, he is just 18 of 56 from the field in the first 3 games of this series.
Now 6 of 24 from 3.
8-5 lead for the Magic. Alston passed on the shot. There's Turgolo over West. So Hito Turgolo, who hit only 1 for 11 the other night, is able to knock it down to the Magic, connecting on their first 4 shots.
Well, you talk about a tough matchup. Delonte West is 6'2", is guarding the 6'9", 6'10" Hito Turgolo.
Ilgauskas, and that could be a good sign for the Cavaliers. Could not find the range the other night. And Delonte West is listed at 6'3". Off the steal, here comes James, and he hammers it down. West listed at 6'3", but He says he's 6'2", giving away yet another inch to Turkoglu.
That makes him a little tougher.
Exactly.
The smaller you are, I got a tougher match up here, Marv, you know?
So he's giving away 8 inches, not 7. Howard, rebounded Gauskas. Cavaliers down by a point.
Mike Brown talked about getting the ball up the floor quicker and getting into the offense sooner. Looks like Cleveland's doing a better job of that here early. Let's see if they can do it for 48 minutes.
Here's Williams for 3. Rebounded by Turkoglu.
In and out, that ball was right in.
James coming over to help. Howard gets inside.
See, when they get into that quick post, you can't get over into that double team. And so Magic are doing a great job early offense going right to Dwight Howard. And Gauskas just does not have the foot speed to play him down there.
Good start for Howard, 7 points. Gauskas inside, and Howard wisely, seeing that Zydrunas was that deep, let him go, does not want to pick up the early fouls, and that has been a pattern for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he got 2 fouls in the first 6 minutes the other day.
Alston for 3.
That's that pick and roll, and Dwight Howard is making great decisions. He catches the ball at the foul line, Marv, and he's got 3-point shooters in both corners. Caught the ball, took his time, found Alston, and he knocked down the 3.
No question, LeBron looking for teammates here at the start, trying to get everyone involved. And a foul is, now again, a defensive 3 is called. That's the second defensive 3 over the first 5 minutes called on the Magic.
Now, if you're Mo Williams, you got to like this, and I tell you why. He's gone to the line now. He's made 4 free throws. Reggie Miller's setting up there, Kenny Smith, both those guys shooters. They know that when you're struggling, if you can get to the free throw line or you can get a layup and you see that ball go in, give such positive thoughts. So 4 out of 4 from the free throw line here for Mo Williams to start this game.
That was deflected, so Williams able to retrieve. Here's Mo on the penetration and rejected by Howard. Stolen by Williams. And a foul. Mo Williams slapping it away and made contact.
This is only his 3rd block shot of the series. They have taken his shot blocking out of the series, not this one. Comes over with that left hand nicely, and then Mo Williams comes back and gets the foul, but only 3 blocks. Now, he almost averaged 3 blocks a game as the Defensive Player of the Year.
Howard beat Ilgauskas to position, and the foul is on Ilgauskas. We were talking about Dwight Howard earlier with head coach Stan Van Gundy as to the problems that Howard has had in trying to block shots that are offered up by LeBron James, and Stan saying that he just can't get the proper angle on James.
Well, you know what happens also too, LeBron sees him and he drives that ball right into his chest, Marv, so he creates contact. We got a shot blocker up there in our studio too, Charles Barkley, and that's what you do. You take the ball into the body of a shot blocker and he can't jump. The last block shot that he got, did you notice he had freedom there? Nobody was around him. He came right over, and normally you block somebody's shot off the ball. You very rarely block your own man's shot.
Howard 2 of 3 at the line. Remember, the Magic had that 2-1 lead on the Celtics, and then Boston came here to Orlando. They won on the shot by Big Baby Davis. Celtics taking a 3-2 lead, but Orlando won games 6 and 7 to pull out that series with the victory in Boston in Game 7. Here's James going at Howard. That time, Howard had the angle. James had to give it up. Williams cannot hit.
Mo Williams is getting good shots. Just not knocking them in. He's had 2 wide open looks from that 3-point line right out of the corner.
Howard spinning his way. And once again able to hit the hook.
Well, he's gotten 11 points here early on, 4 of 5. Alston is 2 of 2, so those guys have 17 of the 19 points. That's that inside-outside attack.
Delonte West. Halfway through the first, a 19-14 lead for the Magic.
Well, they have one thing in mind. That is going into the post. They double team. They're going to look for the 3-point shot. Here it is once again. This time Alston misses.
Alston coming up short as James was able to close. Now LeBron on the post. Goes behind the back to Varejao. What a pass.
Now that is sort of reminiscent of Game 1 when Varejao got those 6 early points. LeBron found him when he got into the post. They tilt their defense, they load it, and that weak side cutters are open. LeBron James loves to pass, and he's not been able to pass in this series much because his teammates aren't making shots. That is a spectacular pass and an easy score for Varejao.
Here in Orlando, as we welcome you back, it is time for Gatorade Around the Cooler. Let's go to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, after scoring 43% of his team's points in the first 3 games, LeBron James could use a little help from his friends, his Cavs teammates. But instead of blaming them, he told me today that he is also to blame. He and assistant coach Chris Jett looked at every possession from Game 3. What LeBron says happened was when they took the defense toward him, there are times that the slashing lanes are open, as we just saw with Andy Varejao, or other times that teammates are open, the spacing is there, but he hasn't recognized it. And although he had 41 points in Game 3, he was only 2 for 15 from the perimeter. He says his shooting, his feet were too tight. He was not spread out enough. He was not decisive enough. He was not making quick decisions. So LeBron says he is partially to blame, and he's working on it for tonight. Mark?
All right, Craig. Courtney Lee not able to hit. Chris Jett, incidentally, one-time interim head coach of the Magic. That was back in 2005 as he took over for Johnny Davis toward the end of the season. A member of that Houston Rockets championship team, although did not get much playing time. Ilgauskas coming up short. The ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Magic.
Well, that's just a follow-up on Craig's report there. You saw it once again. LeBron caught the ball, and he had his eyes to see the entire floor. Guys were cutting. Finally, Big Z Ilgauskas stepped into that open area and just couldn't finish, but they had another point-blank layout. So they've had some good looks here in this game early.
Fast start for the Magic. They've hit 7 of their first 9, 2 of 3 from downtown, both by Rafer Alston. James gets it in. Varejao passed on that shot. West for 3. Rebounded by Turkoglu.
Well, 2 for 9 start for West and Mo Williams, so still not shooting the ball well.
Mike Brown telling us, though, he will go to Wally Szczerbiak tonight, looking for some offense. So Wally has not played the last 2 games. Here's Lewis open for 3. Rebounded by Williams.
See, when that ball goes in the basket, though, when you double team, you're scrambling. Rashard Lewis had a wide open 3.
Here is James. So LeBron James, who had so much difficulty hitting from beyond the paint the other night, just 2 of 15 from the perimeter, knocks down the jumper. Howard off the pass. Rebounded by Ilgauskas. And a foul, touch foul called on Alston. 13 foul on the Magic. Cavaliers have 3. Here comes Anthony Johnson. He'll come on for Rafer Alston.
You know, Marv, it's interesting. Turkoglu and Lewis off to a very slow start here tonight offensively. They'll combine 1 or 2. And remember when they got off to the slow start in Cleveland, in those 2 games they had 1 point, and they were 0 for 10. So both of those, now Rashard did have 5 points in the Game 3. He hit a couple baskets, but both of these guys have gotten off to slow starts in 3 of the 4 games now.
And Dwight Howard with 11 of Orlando's last 16 points. He has been the offensive weapon here at the start. Foul on Johnson, going up against his good friend Mo Williams. Anthony Johnson with that elbow of Mo Williams after Williams had fouled him, and Mo needed 4 stitches around his left eye. It was originally called a flagrant, and the flagrant foul was rescinded by the NBA. James with the rainbow, and it's snatched by Howard.
See, LeBron never was on balance that time. As he came off, he slipped and fell. That's one of those where you just got to pull it out and make sure you're in good balance. What he talked about with Sager in the last game, that he wasn't in great balance.
Johnson tried to pull up, and he's hit. He was fouled. Foul on Varejao. That's his second. Well, talking about that elbow, late second quarter. Here's the play as Mo took it right around the eye, opening up 2 cuts. And Johnson was called for that flagrant 1. And as I mentioned, that was canceled out by the league. And Mo Williams needed 4 stitches to close the cut. You were telling me earlier you once took 40 stitches around the eye?
I did. I got an elbow and it just exploded. I remember Isaiah Thomas got about an 80 from a Karl Malone elbow and came back and played later in that game. But it's sort of the interesting thing about that Mo Williams foul. Initially it was a flagrant 2, and Mo Williams had run into the locker room to get his eyes stitched up. Well, the flagrant 2, someone else can shoot the free throws. The flagrant 1, when it was downgraded, he had to come out shoot the free throws, because if he didn't, he couldn't have gone back in the game.
And then the flagrant 1
went to a technical. So it went from flagrant 2 to flagrant 1 to a technical.
Here is Lewis following the back end. Serbiak will just check in, try to save it, and stepped out. So Wally Serbiak on the floor for that shooting touch after sitting out games 2 and 3. In game 1, he played 13 minutes and was not moving well. He's been bothered by a sprained left knee, although he says he's fine.
Well, this is a better matchup in terms of Wally has the ability to get out on the perimeter and play Lewis. Nice cut here by Courtney Lee, and a beautiful block by Delonte West.
All right, here's Williams putting the speed on, and he's fouled. Anthony Johnson turned his back, but made contact.
See, there's a lot of ways to score. Remember LeBron the other night had 41 points, and you said he only hit 2 jumpers, Marv, 2 of 15. Well, here now is Mo Williams. He's 1 of 5 in the game. This is going to be his 5th and 6th free throws. So he's going to end up possibly with a double-digit quarter without really shooting the ball. Sometimes you just have to manufacture points. You have to drive the ball. You have to be aggressive. You know, you have to find a way to be productive.
And Mo Williams, an excellent free throw shooter, 91% during the regular season. It was foul-filled the other night, and you can see as the series has progressed, the number of fouls and free throw attempts has increased.
Yeah, game 1 was sort of a pretty game. You know, nice flow, guys shooting, not many fouls. I think it was 12 of 14 for the Magic, 14 of 17 for Cleveland. So they shot 31 free throws. And since they went to fouling Dwight Howard, now it's become a foul fest.
Cavaliers have taken a 1-point lead. They've scored 8 consecutive to lead it 20-19. Shot clock at 5. This is Michael Petras, who just came on. Michael Petras has had an excellent playoff, starting with the Boston series. Williams keeping that alive. Gauskas working on Howard. Tries a post-up move, which we rarely see from Zydrunas.
Remember in game 2, Marv, they posted him early. He had 3 early baskets, but you're right, they very rarely have posted him against Howard.
Lee not able to hit the 3. So the Magic cooling off after the hot start. James wide open for 3. Yes.
I don't know if he rolled his ankle, but he's limping coming out after that shot. He was 1 of 8 from 3 the other night.
LeBron trying to hang in. His team now leads by 4. Just under 2 minutes left in the first. Lewis trying to take advantage of Serbiak, could not.
Now Wally's pretty strong. If he can push him off the block, Howard is strong enough and tall enough to shoot over him, but he did a nice job that time defensively, forced him into a very difficult shot.
James looking for Serbiak, and it will be Orlando ball. Cavaliers take a timeout. They've scored 11 consecutive, and you see how LeBron hurt his leg.
Big thing is, let's defend and rebound and get out and run, okay? Defend and rebound, we'll get whatever we want in transition now. Let's go.
Well, this is what Stan Van Gundy's talking about. Marv, it's interesting, but normally teams are better at home offensively and usually on the road have to win with defense. But the Magic, look at them. 5-2 here at home, 4-1 when they've shot under 45%. They're shooting 44% in the 7 games. Look at the three-point shooting. Under 16 assists because they haven't shot well, but look when they go on the road. So it's interesting. They're a better defensive team at home in terms of having to win that way, and then on the road, it seems like they shoot the ball better. So that's what Stan's talking about. Get out and get in transition. But in transition early in the game, it's been Cleveland. They had 3 fast break points in game 3. They already have 9 here in this first quarter. So Mike Brown said, look for early offense, and they are doing that.
Daniel Gibson has come on, and he's defending on Anthony Johnson. Johnson playing with the 2 fouls. Turkoglu works off the pick from Howard. Johnson gets it down low. Howard not able to hang on. Shot clock to 5. Petras draws the foul. Foul on James. Nice fake by Mike Michael Petras. For LeBron, it's his first.
Now, Michael Petras got to the line 7 times the other night and made all 7. He was stuck here, no place to go, and LeBron very upset with himself. Now, he was a really good sport afterwards and helped Michael Petras up, but I guarantee you he was upset that he bit on that shot fake.
Michael Petras, as you see, outscored the Cavalier bench 39-27 by himself. First 3 games. Michael Petras with several solid performances over the start of this series. Had the hot hand against the Celtics in the previous 7-game set. First points for the Magic in over 5 minutes. And Wallace has come on for Cleveland. So Gibson and West in the backcourt. Wallace with Serbiak and James on the front line. Nice pass. Wallace with the pass from James. A look away by LeBron James.
I think that's all because Cleveland is moving better without the basketball. They're not standing and watching LeBron. They're cutting to open areas that he's rewarding. He loves to pass.
Wallace stepped away to avoid the foul. Here's James trying to put a move on Petras. Wallace with a good pick. LeBron cannot hit, and Ben Wallace slaps at it, knocks it out of bounds, but he's very active here in this opening quarter.
You know, maybe the best quarter offensively for Cleveland was in game 1, that first quarter when they scored 33. LeBron had only 10 of them and did not have any of the first 21. That might have been their best balanced quarter this entire series.
Now LeBron James has attempted 6 shots, but he's looking to get teammates involved, and miscommunication there, and on the turnover, the ball back to the Cavaliers. Now this is a Cleveland team that went 66-16 in the regular season. Best record in the league. Franchise record with 66 wins. They win 13 of the last 14. They had a 13-game win streak. They won 23 straight at home over one stretch. Final seconds of the quarter. Here's James to the rim. James thought he was fouled by Howard. There was no call. So that's the end of 1. And the Cavaliers with a 25-21 lead. LeBron James with 7 points. Mo Williams with 8. Dwight Howard leads the Magic with 11.
Welcome back to Orlando. Cleveland with a 25-21 lead after 1. With me, Mike Brown. Hey, Coach, 6 players have already scored for your team. How are you getting so much better ball movement tonight?
We're just coming down and getting the ball from one side of the floor to the other. We're getting the ball up the floor quickly and getting to our offense a little bit sooner, and that's what we have to do. We have to make sure we keep doing that and then get stopped so we can get out.
Doug mentioned the 9 fast break points. That's your total from the last 2 games. How are you getting that early offense going?
The guys are just pushing it. We've encouraged them to push it. They're doing the job out there pushing the basketball. And also we're getting some stops. If you get some stops, then you're going to get a chance to get out and run.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back tomorrow.
All right, Craig, a 13-2 run for the Cavaliers over the last 6 minutes. Orlando has missed its last 10 shots without a field goal over the last 6 minutes.
And a positive for Cleveland is now with LeBron sitting, they're playing with the lead. So that gives Mike Brown a little more cushion to rest him.
Howard off the nice setup from Turkoglu as the second quarter gets underway. With James sitting down, Joe Smith and Mo Williams check back in. So Williams and West in the backcourt. Wallace is up front with Smith and Serbiak. Serbiak being played by Petras, and a foul is called on Howard. So Dwight Howard with his first.
See, Hedo Turkoglu, that middle screen roll is causing so many problems. That time they drop Ben Wallace, and nobody rotates over to get Dwight Howard. The key to that is Turkoglu is so big, he can throw over the other team's center, which at this point in time is Ben Wallace. So it's not a small point guard you're trying to trap or trying to disrupt their vision down there, Marv. That's a guy at 6'10".
Monte West does not get the bounce. Rebounded by Howard. Tony Battie and Dwight Howard are the big men for Stan Van Gundy. This is Battie, played by Smith. Howard guarded by Wallace with help. Williams with the steal. Double up on Williams. And Mo Williams able to knock it down. So that's his second field goal. He has 10 points off the 6 of 6 at the line, and a good start here for the Cavs. They're up 27-23.
You know, it's been my experience sometime, Marvin, a game like this is quickly steps back and knocks down that long three. That time they chose to go under the screen. They're trying to mix up the coverages. And Mo Williams right now coming in, sometimes after you've got a little bit of a rest, you calm down a little bit.
All right, here comes Turkoglu with Serbiak back. Petrus. Yes. A three from Michael Petrus. Orlando has recaptured the lead.
You will pay for bad shots. Mo Williams took a bad shot on that last possession. It cost his team 3 points.
West gets to the rim, and he's fouled. Foul committed by Turkoglu. That's his second. So 2 apiece on Turkoglu, Alston, and Johnson. Delonte West to the line. A reminder, national coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. Game 5 between the Nuggets and the Lakers in that series. All even. 2 apiece. Cover starts 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then Thursday, here on TNT, Game 5 between the Magic and the Cavaliers. We'll be back in Cleveland for game number 5. Cover starting 8 o'clock Eastern time.
These are 2 different kind of running teams. When Cleveland runs, it's normally LeBron James driving that ball to get into the paint. They drive for layups. And with the Magic, they run to shoot threes. So it is so imperative that you take care of that ball. Only 3 turnovers, actually 2 turnovers here tonight for Cleveland. Only 2 points off turnovers. The other night they had 10 in the first quarter, so they've done a better job taking care of the ball because normally those lead to those open 3-pointers.
And during the regular season, as the team attempted that 2-pointer, kept alive by Howard. In the regular season, the Magic averaged 10 made 3-pointers per game. Here's Johnson for 3.
Now streaky, though. They hadn't made any. Now they've hit 3 in a row. I mean, that's what happens with the Magic. I mean, it looks like they're dead in the water offensively, and then 3 quick shots and 9 quick points, and they're right back in it.
Williams with no hesitation. So Mo Williams showing some signs. Leads the Cavs with 12 points. The Magic up by 1. Single coverage on Howard. Now West over to help. Turkoglu for 3. Rebounded by Wallace.
I don't like that double team from West because the easiest pass for Dwight Howard to make is the guy standing right in front of him, and that's Turkoglu. He had an easy shot there that he missed, so they'd be really careful on that double team. Somebody better rotate up quicker.
Serbiak on a step back.
You got it.
Johnson again from downtown.
He took that one before Dwight Howard even got down the floor. Again, that's not a good shot. You've got to manage your possessions.
Don wanted to travel on Serbiak off the steal. Johnson has Turkoglu. Johnson all the way. It counts. And the foul on Mo Williams.
Turnover, layup. That's when Cleveland turns the ball over. That's when the speed of Orlando hurts them in the open floor. That time it's Anthony Johnson. A little touch foul that time from Mo Williams.
The Magic up by 3 when we come back. Johnson will head to the line. Stay tuned for a sneak peek of The Hangover in theaters everywhere June 5th.
Well, the Orlando Magic are that streaky 3-point shooting team. They were cold. Marvin talked about they missed 10 straight shots. You go under the pick. Here's Turkoglu knocking it down. The penetration, the knockdown by Michael Petrus. You go underneath the screen once again. Anthony Johnson steps back and knocks in the 3. They hit 3 in a row. And tonight now 5 of 11 at 46%. And you know, Marvin, it's interesting. The other day you and I were talking. Said, how did the Magic even win that game the other night when you look at the numbers in the game?
We were talking about this with Stan Van Gundy earlier. He posed the same question. You shoot 43%, only 6 of 17 from 3-point land, 16 assists, 13 turnovers. Dwight Howard able to stay on the floor only 28 minutes because of foul trouble. Turkoglu 1 of 11. He said If someone told me those numbers, I would have said we lose by 20.
I agree. I mean, it's amazing, but it shows you how good their defense was the other night. I mean, LeBron had 41, got to the line 24 times, got really no help from anybody else.
LeBron James back on the floor. Mo Williams off the mark, rebounded by Marcin Gortat, who just came on for Dwight Howard, although Howard has done a good job staying out of foul trouble. Just one foul to this point. Petrus is open for three. Rebounded by James. With James sitting down, Cleveland was outscored by Orlando 13-6. Here's the spin by LeBron, and he's fouled.
That's why you have to rest him with the lead. It reminds me so much of what Jerry Sloan used to do with John Stockton. Utah would try to get off to great starts because you knew that he was going to rest probably about the 6-minute mark, Stockton, and going to get about 10 or 12 minutes. And this is what you see. You see well, how much he actually was on the bench. 11 minutes on the bench is how much he got rest. So when you go in with the lead, all of a sudden you get outscored by 7, you come back and you're still in the ball game. And actually in game 2, he went to the bench, they were up 14, and actually they pushed it to 23 on that particular day. So, you know, that's why I think Cleveland needs to get off to good starts, and they've won the first quarter in 3 of the 4 games.
And when you say real time, that includes timeouts, stoppages,
yes,
and play.
And that's why coaches take guys out at the quarter breaks. A lot of times maybe the last minute of the quarter if you can, or you get them right out at the break, you get the timeouts, and then maybe miss 2 or 3 minutes of game action and get 11 or 12 minutes of actual rest.
Orlando in possession, up by 2. Shot clock to 4. Turner with a nice move.
See, Wally doesn't have any lateral movement. You can see he can say that knee doesn't feel badly, but it's not bothering him. But you can just see he's really struggling to push off that leg.
But obviously, when you ask players, how do you feel,
yes,
they're going to say, oh, I'm fine.
If he says, I don't feel very good, he's not going to get in the game.
There's Serbiak with a strong move, and he draws the foul. It's a blocking foul. So Serbiak to the line. He's hit by Gortat, who picks up his second.
And this is not a lateral move. This is right along the baseline. He actually jumps off that left leg with a nice finish. And Wally Serbiak, through his career, has been a big-time scorer. Now he's more of a situational player. He gets in there nicely, and this is what they want from him. Can he come into the game? Can he get him some points? Can he match up against Rashard Lewis? Well, right now, Rashard Lewis does not have a point. He's 0 of 3 from the field, has no points. And you see Wally with 2, so I mean, that right now, you would have to love that if you're Cleveland.
First free throw missed by the Cavs. They hit their previous 10. 2-point lead for the Magic. Petrus from downtown.
He loves that corner. Talked to Craig Sager today about that. I tell you what, Turkoglu makes great. He's making great decisions with the ball, Marv. You know, you can say all that screen roll you want, but your guy has to make the right decision, and he's making the right plays.
He's had big games in the assist column. Gibson tried to get it to Ilgauskas. Nice ball movement. Here's Gibson. Rebound comes to Ilgauskas, and another possession for the Cavaliers.
That was a wide open shot by Gibson, who was a 44% shooter last year. So all the guys that made shots for him last year, no one are knocking those shots down. That was an open shot.
James for 3. Well, the Cavaliers have had a couple of in and outs on 3-point attempts. And as Lewis makes his move, a foul is called. It's a hold on Serbia. Timeout is called by the Cavs.
Well, you dribble, penetrate, you get in the gap, you draw people, you make the extra pass, you knock down the 3. Beautiful spacing. Petrus once again doing it off the bench.
Welcome back to Orlando. The Magic leading by 5. We're at Amway Arena, just a few blocks away from the Orlando Event Center, under construction. That will be the new home of the Orlando Magic, opening in the fall of 2010. When it opens, it is said to be the most technologically advanced and environmentally friendly arena ever built. We'll have 60 premier suites, the best ones, just 19 rows from the floor of the court. They also will have many restaurants and a terrace overlooking Church Street. And it is so massive that the entire Amway Arena can fit into just the lower bowl. It's been working nearly 10 years to get the approval. It's under construction, as you see there, and we will have it open and ready to play in the fall of 2010. Marv?
What is most troubling to me, and Alex Martins, the COO of the Magic, pointing out that Craig has been wearing that pink hard hat around the hotel. That is waved off. Foul before the shot attempt. It's on Ilgauskas. His second.
Excuse me, Marv, how quickly this game has swung, and where it has swung is at that three-point line. The Magic have now made 6. They are plus 15 at the three-point line. So they were down. All of a sudden, they hit 4 threes, and now they are up. Now 5. Hito Turkoglu looking to try to push it to a 6-point lead.
Well, you can shop NBAstore.com for the best selection of Cavaliers and Magic team gear, plus get free shipping on orders over $75. NBAstore.com. One store, every team. 41-35 Orlando, just under 6 minutes to play in this first half. LeBron James 3 of 8 from the field, 2 for 2 at the line, 9 points. Shot clock to 6. Here's James, way off, and deflected out. Last touch by Orlando.
You know, it looks to me like Gortat being on the floor, Stan Van Gundy's going, look, we've got a 6-point lead. If I can buy some minutes and keep Howard with only 1 foul, I got to be in pretty good position right now. Let's see how long he can keep Howard over there. And as long as Gortat is playing well, he's going to get some minutes.
There's Varejao. Looked like Gortat got a piece of it, and Gortat has played well throughout the postseason and coming on to spell Howard. Varejao with the steal. Alston took it right back at a foul.
I think they're called on Delonte West. Are they after the fact, or is it going to be on? Yes. I wasn't sure if they were going to get Alston on the foul, but what they said that Alston got the basketball, and then West got him after the fact. Right there, a little push after the fact.
Now Ilgauskas will sit down. Joe Smith returns. Zydrunas Ilgauskas 2 of 4, 4 points. Cavaliers shooting just 35%. The Magic picking up their shooting just under 50. Petrus with a nice pass before top.
But it all starts with a screen roll with Turkoglu. That play, Cleveland has had no answers for because Turkoglu again is making all the right decisions. He's got Cleveland in the trick bag defensively every time he runs that.
West, yes. Delonte West with the bucket, and he was fouled. He was hacked, so he'll go to the line as Dwight Howard makes his way back onto the floor.
Well, Delonte West and Mo Williams trying to find the shooting range. There's going to be the jumper, the hit on the elbow by Rafer Alston. 5 of 15 here in this first half for West and Mo Williams. The one saving grace for them is they are both combined 8 of 8 from the free throw line, so they have gotten to the line and manufactured some points.
Rafer Alston picking up his 3rd, and he's replaced by Anthony Johnson. Delonte West looking to complete a 3-point play. It's a 43-38 lead for Orlando. 4.5 to go in this first half. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. We are in Orlando. It is game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Magic up 2 games to 1. Howard getting position on Ilgauskas. And it's rebounded by James.
I'd like to see him use the backboard on that play. That's a tough shot with the left hand to try to shoot that ball without using the glass. The glass so softens up that shot.
Good job by Petrus fronting James. Cavaliers having difficulty getting the ball to LeBron James. Varejao, yes.
I'm not sure that's the play you run to get him that pop-out jump shot, but Varejao does knock that down. Well, there's another unforced error here by Anthony Johnson, just to give away 2 points to Delonte West.
Miscommunication between Johnson and Lewis, who was not expecting the pass, so here are the Cavaliers back within a point.
One thing as an offensive player, you always got to expect the ball coming to you. That time, Rashard Lewis did not even see the ball.
Petras passing out of 3, lost the dribble. Here's James in the open floor. James puts a move on Johnson, and he scores to give the Cavaliers a 1-point lead. He beat Turkoglu, then beat Johnson.
Wow, what a play. What a play. Speed, strength, power to get to the basket.
Petras off on that three-point attempt. Not a good shot.
Now Orlando could go through one of those droughts once again. This is going to be a foul on Petras.
That's the first on Petras, tripping up James. It's been a 9-0 run here for the Cavaliers, who take a 1-point lead.
A little pick and pop. Dwight Howard is not going to respect that jump shot until Verjao can show he can knock it down. And this is Delonte West off the careless pass from Anthony Johnson. And then the runaway locomotive in the open court gives Cleveland a 1-point lead.
9 unanswered points for the Cavaliers to take a 1-point lead over the Magic here in Orlando. And it's time for Bud Light Lime around the league as we take a look at the Western Conference Final Series. That is all even now at 2. Game 4 last night. Denver with the 120-101 victory. The Lakers' worst loss in the 2009 playoffs. Chauncey Billups averaging just under 22 points over the first 4 games. Kobe at just under 37 points for the series.
That's been a very emotional series, to say the least. I cannot wait to see Game 5, and our partners from ABC, ESPN will be calling that. But Marv, a very positive sign. One of our first keys in the game tonight was more balance for the Cleveland Cavaliers in their offense. We talked about LeBron James scoring 43% of his team's points, 49% in the second half is what we're talking about here. Well, how about tonight? He has 11 points. It's 11 still. Team has 44, so 25% of the points tonight. Getting nice help from West and Williams, a combined 21. And the key there is they've gotten to the line 9 times. They're 9 of 9. So although they're only 6 of 16 from the floor, they're getting points by being aggressive and getting to the free throw line. So I think a very positive sign, if you're Mike Brown in Cleveland, is that LeBron has had a first half where there's a lot more balance, and he should be a lot fresher in the second half.
And the Cavaliers making that effort early on to get Mo Williams into it. Delonte West defending on Turkoglu, able to use the pick. Rebounded by West. James slipping it to Ilgauskas.
Early offense, much better tonight for Cleveland. They're in their sets quicker. They're not as hesitant, and as a result of that, they're getting better shots.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play in this first half. There's Johnson, not a good foul. Johnson firing from the corner, run into by Gibson.
That's one of those plays where you're Daniel Gibson and you're struggling to get playing time. You haven't made a shot, and you make a mental mistake, and you foul a three-point shooter. Is it?
Let's see, was that a three-point attempt? Very close.
We'll find out here real quickly. Yeah, he's through. That's a 3, and runs into him after the fact.
So Johnson, who was shaken up on the play, will go to the line to shoot 3. Daniel Boobie Gibson, only 3 minutes on the floor in game 1, did not play in game 2. He had actually fallen out of the rotation earlier in the season, had that injured toe. The shot has been off. We talked about how well he played as a rookie 3 seasons back, particularly in that Eastern Conference Final Series against the Pistons.
You know, Marvin, I looked at his minutes today. I was just sort of going through to see how minutes were being cut. But during the regular season, Gibson in 75 games averaged 24 minutes a game. I mean, so he was a big part of their rotation. Even the fact that they had Mo Williams and Delonte West, smaller guards, he was a big part of that. But what's happened is the starters are playing 27 more minutes a game. And one of the guys who hadn't gotten the minutes in the playoffs has been Daniel Gibson. If he's not making shots, then he's probably not going to get out on the floor.
3 free throws for Johnson. Wally Serbiak checks back in. So Mike Brown doing a lot of shuffling in this first half. Gibson remains on the floor. Gibson and West at the guards. James up front now with Wallace and Serbia.
This last 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Marv, you know, always talk about closing quarters, and here's Anthony Johnson. Now, remember the other night when he got fouled by Mo Williams and then threw out the elbow, he missed the 2 free throws. They went and got Mo Williams out of the locker room, and with his eye bleeding, he stepped up and made the 2. And here you are, you get a chance, you go to the line, you got a chance to maybe make 3 and cut the lead down to 1. You've already missed the first 2.
Johnson, a 75% free throw shooter during the regular season, converts just 1 of the 3. The Cavaliers up by 3. James being defended by Petrus. Steve Lewis cheating over. James throwing at Petrus. Yes, and the foul. What a move by LeBron James.
I don't understand why Dwight Howard, when he saw that Petrus was in trouble, this is the defensive player of the year, he's only got 1 foul. Nobody comes down and helps. Look at Rashard Lewis. They're all witnesses. You know, that play right there. I mean, you cannot let LeBron James, he dribbled the ball about 10 times. Look at him, he just muscles in and gets the foul. He is way too strong for Michael Petrus to allow him to get that kind of post position. Somebody's got to give some help.
Three-point play for James. Is Howard being too careful, trying to avoid foul trouble?
I think the foul trouble has bothered him. I really do believe that. But he's only got 1 tonight, Marv. He's got to be more aggressive. He's got to control the paint. A big part of their success, he's the defensive player of the year.
Oh, here's Lee on the cut. Cavaliers lost sight of Courtney Lee. But the Cavs on a 15-3 run. They lead here by 4 with just under a minute and a half to play in the first half.
You know, how do you close quarters? Going in at halftime, you're on the road. Let's see what Cleveland does here. Let's see if Orlando can get a couple stops.
Gibson for 3, yes. And let's see what develops with Daniel Gibson off that shot.
Well, he's streaky. He had 31 in that deciding game 6 after LeBron was so brilliant in game 5.
Lewis was fouled by Serbia. So Rashard Lewis, who's had a very quiet first half, will go to the line. Coming up, the T-Mobile halftime report. Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Reggie will take a look back at this first half. Is Ernie now telestrating?
Oh, he's cleaning.
Oh, he's cleaning. I see. I see.
Television up there. Ernie is just a multitasker.
He is so talented. See, I see him with the rag in his hand. I thought he was using the telestrator.
That's your buddy, the Czar, who's doing that.
Rashard Lewis with his first points of the game. 5-point advantage for the Cavaliers. The lead for James, able to handle it and puts it down. LeBron James has come on strong in the second quarter. He now has 17 points in all. And the Cavaliers, during the course of this run, have hit 8 of their last 9 shots.
You know, LeBron is doing it off the basketball, Barb. He's not dominating the ball. He's doing it in the post. He's catching the ball, one bounce, getting to the basket. And so he's much more active moving without the ball tonight.
A triple team Howard. Petrus for 3. Kept alive by Courtney. And gets it over to Rashard Lewis. So Courtney Lee able to tip it to Lewis. And the Cavalier lead is now 5.
Going to go right back to that same situation, about a 4.8-second differential here, game and shot clock.
A 6 on the 24. Nice spin by James. Handled by Wallace, got it to Gibson. They're pointing at the clock. Gibson fires and hits again with 0.6 of a second remaining in the half. Another 3 for Gibson. And the Cavaliers open up an 8-point lead at the half.
Well, Marv, you're prophetic. You talked about Daniel Gibson and how streaky. That was a great play, though, by Ben Wallace. Shot was missed. He got him an extra possession. That's a great first half by Cleveland. Looked like they were down after Orlando hit them with all those threes. They battled back. Great close to the first half for Cleveland. should be a great momentum for them going in that locker room after being down 2-1.
They finished with a 23-7 spurt over the last 4 minutes and 45 seconds. You see the high point then. LeBron James 17, Mo Williams showing signs with 12. Dwight Howard leading Orlando with 13. Here's Craig Sager and Mo Williams.
Well, Mo, we talked about your guarantee yesterday, but this morning while our crew was setting up at 8:30, you're already out here practicing, working hard. What did you gain from that extra activity?
Just a rhythm. I got game shots up, running off some screens, just like you saw me shooting some shots today, running off the screen, getting some in the break. And I'm just making a continued effort just to push the ball down the floor and keep them on their heels, man. Play my type of basketball. First 3 games, I've been just, sitting back, just playing off Bron. I got to initiate and be a threat on the floor.
How much better was it when you went to the free throw line, and how much easier that for you to get in the rhythm making those early free throws?
Anybody know, man, you go to the line, man, you feel a little bit more better on your next shot, especially if it's a jump shot. So getting to the line was key for me.
All right, thanks a lot. LeBron James getting a lot of help. Mo Williams and Delonte West with 21 of their points, and Daniel Gibson with 2 big threes. They lead by 8. We'll be back for the T-Mobile halftime report. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Reggie Miller.
As we get ready for the second half, it's game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Magic with a 2-1 lead. An excellent first half for the Cavaliers. They have that 8-point lead. They close the half with a 23-7 run. They hit 9 of the last 11 shots. LeBron James turning it on in that second quarter. He has 17 points. But Doug, tonight, the story is that LeBron is receiving some help from teammates.
Well, that's what the message has been the last 48 hours is he can't do it by himself, and 3 perimeter guys really helped him out tonight. Mo Williams got to the line early, really helped him. He had 12 points. Delonte West with 9. How about Daniel Gibson coming in off the bench at those 2 big threes late? So those guys combined for 27 points, which is critical. And if you look at the balance of what we talked about, one of our first key was the balance. When Cleveland is the better team, they are balanced. And LeBron James in that first half, 17 points, 6 of 13 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 29% of his team's points. And Marv, he's been getting 43% of his team's points, 49% in the second half. So I think it's critical for Cleveland to come back out and play with that same kind of balance and not stand around and watch LeBron play in the second half.
Orlando in possession as this third quarter gets underway. Game 5 back at the Q in Cleveland Thursday night and right here on TNT exclusively starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and Game 6 if necessary here in Orlando Saturday night. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. Dwight Howard with just the 1 personal foul in the first half. Good job by West moving in on Turkoglu. Howard played by Ilgauskas with help. Here's Turkoglu. Here's it back, and it's stolen. And played by Lee. Ilgauskas from straight away. Rebounded by Turkoglu.
This first 5 minutes is going to be very important for Orlando. I thought they finished the second half, the first half there, Marv. I thought they were very careless. They didn't show a lot of fire, and Cleveland jumped them. They need to get back into this game in this first 5 minutes of this quarter.
James on the fouls. We take a look at the Dos Equis game summary. Cavaliers with the hot shooting in the second portion of that second quarter. Finished at 48%. Orlando 47. 6 threes for Orlando. 24-20 in terms of points in the paint in favor of the Cavaliers. Rafer Alston. Alston and Lee are at the guards. Alston. So he has shot the ball well, as he did in Game 3. 8 points for Alston.
You can see they switched that pick and roll. So with Rashard Lewis, they're doing 2 or 3 different coverages. That time they switched, and Alston just took advantage of the taller Bergeau by stepping back and making a jump shot.
Williams changed his mind as he ran into Howard, recovered by Ilgauskas. Williams checking the clock, and then rims out. Rebound Howard.
We need to find Rashard Lewis, get him going. Here's Alston once again with a long jump shot. LeBron James is playing him, is sort of laying off of him. They're trying to keep him out of the lane, go underneath those screens, make him a jump shooter. But right now he's 4 of 5 with 10 points. Mark, remember, he was 5 of 6 in game three in that first quarter, got him off to a great start with 11 points.
Been a key guy in Game 7. He set the tone in Boston on the way to the victory by the Magic. Shot clock to 2. Varejao gets it off. Good box out by Lewis. So the Magic with a good start as this third quarter gets underway. Varejao defending on Howard. They collapse on him. He gets it back out. Here's Alston for 3.
I get a timeout. Come out, you've given up 7 straight points all to Alston. It's a good timeout by Mike Brown, but how quickly all your good work can go away. Orlando, this is so typical of them. They play in fits and spurts. Their offense is streaky because of their three-point shooting. Alston, a great start here in the third quarter. Cleveland by 1. Well, so often how teams come out of the halftime is so important. Cleveland up 8. They've come out very soft. And Orlando's taken advantage of it. Rafer Alston, this time it's the play, Marv, I talked about where he got the switch on Varejao. He just pulled up and shot it. This time they go what you call two remove. They go under 2 guys. He pulls up and shoots it. Ball goes into the post. Mo Williams digs back. The easiest pass is out to the passer. He knocks down the 3. So 3 of 3, 7 points. That 8-point lead has been trimmed to 1 very, very quickly.
Yes, Skip to my Lou coming out with a flurry. The 7 unanswered to cut it to that 1-point lead. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, this is exactly what Mike Brown did not want to see. He told his team at intermission. That was a good half, but remember, they're going to make a run. They have great three-point shooters. The key for us is to play harder than they did for the next 24 minutes. I asked him what he liked best about that first half. He said his players taking ownership. He said Mo Williams coming out 12 hours before the game trying to find a shooting touch. Daniel Gibson telling him, hey, if you play me, I'm ready. And he said, as for Wally Szczerbiak, he may not make every shot, but if I ask him to run through a wall, he will. But he said, we got a long way to go before this one's over.
All right, Craig, and LeBron James, as you saw, taking to the rim. He was fouled by Howard. 3-point play opportunity. So LeBron has given the Cavaliers a 61-57 lead.
Now, once again, a very poor angle by Dwight Howard on that screen roll. I don't know if it's miscommunication, but did not even come over and contest the shot by LeBron James. He's the defensive player of the year. He's got to defend that paint.
Turkoglu passed on a 3, and now shoots for 3. Rebound is handled by James. Williams and West at the guards. James with Ilgauskas and Varejao on the front line. We've played 3 minutes of the third quarter. Cavaliers up by 4 points. Look out, Varejao not looking.
Well, it's interesting. They had, in that possession, they had Dwight Howard on Varejao, who roams around a lot more and actually pulls Howard away with those pick and rolls. So we'll see if that matchup stays the way it has been the last couple of possessions.
Here's Lewis open. Able to hit from downtown. Lewis just 1 for 5 from the field. Oh, the move by Mo Williams, accelerating and got it under Dwight Howard, who was able to drift back. Alston for 3 again.
They got to know where he is. They're going to roam off of him.
He's 4 for 5 from beyond that 3-point line. Here's West. Nice move on Lee.
How about the last 2 possessions? Mo Williams drives and lays the ball in, and you come down. Delonte West does the same thing, yet LeBron James with his 3-point play in the paint. So the Stan Van Gundy cannot be happy with that paint defense right now.
Bad pass Howard could not handle. Here's Williams. Wanted to pull it up. Now they reset. Varejao. The Cavaliers lost him.
Well, there's another. So they've got 9 easy points, and now it's going to be Stan Van Gundy taking the timeout. You see the Orlando Magic looking around, talking to each other. I don't know if they're confused with their matchups. Remember, I told you that Dwight Howard had been playing Varejao. This time, he just leaves him alone. So Dwight Howard needs to get focused here. That's too easy. Tonight, much more aggressive. This was the drive right after Mo Williams had taken it on the other side of the floor and gotten an easy score. And now he finds Varejao. Marv, how about in this quarter now? That's 9 points for the Cavs, 8 of them in the paint, and the other one on a free throw, actually on a three-point play. 5 assists tonight, 11 points. He and Mo Williams have combined for 25, but 32 points in the paint right now for Cleveland. They're plus 12, 8 of them here in this fourth quarter.
So after that opening burst by Rafer Alston, the Cavaliers able to regroup back up to a 7-point lead. Alston has scored 10 points in this third quarter. Shot clock to 6. Turgeler with room for 3. So they're hitting the 3 ball tonight. That's 9 threes, 9 of 20 for the Magic from downtown. 67-63 Cleveland. Varejao been very active tonight. That time not able to stuff. Turgeler met by West. Here's Courtney Lee open for 3. Punched out, but ends up in the hands of West. James played aggressively by Turgeler.
Playing much more on the wing tonight than in the middle of the floor.
Here's Williams, got the step, fires it up. It counts in the foul.
Well, he's gotten 2 layups now in this quarter, so he had not shot the ball well in the first half. Now he's at 5 of 12. A couple layups, he's gotten to the free throw line. This is a high degree of difficulty shot off the glass, going away from his, he's going to the left, and he actually comes back with the right hand off the glass. Look how high that ball hit up off the board. So all those tough luck shots that he had missed along the way, starting to get some kind bounces now.
Foul on Lee. Mo Williams had a 6th year out of Alabama, originally a 2nd-round pick of Utah, spent a year with the Jazz and then 4 seasons with Milwaukee, emerged as an all-star this year. Had struggled in the playoffs, but has come up with a solid game here this evening. Howard had it knocked aside.
Boy, Z got hit with an elbow right in the face, too. As Howard was going up, it was incidental. But, I mean, he got cracked right in the face. Boy, I saw that in live action. We're going to get a chance to see it in the replay. Watch as he spins back. Watch this. Right there with that right elbow. And boy, that Z took a shot right to the chin. Look at this shot. As he goes to the basket, as Z strips down on that ball, you can see he gets a tough blow to the jaw. Boy, Z is not happy right now. He's jostling around with Howard. He's got Sabrina Slogowski's attention right now.
And Howard's elbow has been very active during the course of the season and the postseason. That includes hitting teammates. Oh, Alston going glass to hit another 3. And that was not his intention. Rafer Alston with 13 of his 19 in this third quarter. 6 minutes to go in the third. Ilgauskas. Tipped by Varejao, ends up in the hands of Alston. And Alston in a collision with James. The foul is on James, a blocking foul.
And the fans sort of derisively cheering here. LeBron had 18 fouls in a total of 11 games. Here he slides over, gets called for the blocking foul. And you know you got it going here, Marv. When you catch on the wing like this, and you look up, you got LeBron James, 2nd in Defensive Player of the Year behind Dwight Howard. You just kiss it off the glass from about 25 feet.
And now Daniel Boobie Gibson has come on. He hit 2 threes in the second quarter after connecting only 4 of 17, 23% from downtown throughout the playoffs. Varejao took it away from Turgeler. Here's Williams for 3. Rebounded by Lewis. Williams thought he was fouled. Lewis able to chase it down, met by the double. Turgeler, nice fake, backs it home. The Cavalier lead is down to 2.
Well, look what Cleveland has gone with. They've got 3 basically point guards in the game now. Mo Williams, Daniel Gibson, and Delonte West. A very small lineup. LeBron is at the 4 spot with Varejao. So they have definitely matched small here now to Orlando. Let's see what happens.
West putting moves on Turgeler. Beautiful spin as he goes glass.
He loves to play in that low post, Marv. He's a good low post player.
13 points for Delonte West. James got a piece of it. There's Howard kicking it back out. They swing it. Alston with a hot hand. This time came up short from beyond the three-point line. James on the spin. And a foul is called. Mike Callahan, the outside official, with the call. It is on Howard. That's his third.
See what LeBron is doing. See, Dwight Howard is waiting for him at the rim. And he's got a full head of steam up. So look where Dwight Howard is. He's got so much space. So LeBron is going right at him. That time he spins off of him. So you can see why it's been a nightmare cover for Howard. You've got this guy coming at you with that kind of speed. And then he rolls off. They ruled that Howard reached in and got the foul.
LeBron 6 of 7 at the line. A programming reminder, TBS Wednesdays. Brown is back. Get the family together for the new season premiere of Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns. Right after brand new episodes of House of Pain. That'll be Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time only on TBS. Anderson Varejao took a shot to the head as the ball was batted away. And
loose ball foul they called on Varejao. He actually pushed off on Howard is how he got in that position, Marv.
James tried to knock it aside, recovered by Howard. There's Howard to the rim. Varejao trying to wrap him up, but Howard showing his strength, able to take it. But wait a moment. A technical foul was called for taunting.
Yes, and this is a problem. Dwight Howard has got to understand, Marv, I think this is his 6th technical foul.
It is.
So he got upset with the play on Varejao, and this is what they've tried to do. They have tried to get into his head and get him upset. Now watch at the end of this play. He's going to lay the ball in the basket. Right there, Varejao reaches out and grabs him, and watch his reaction afterwards. He looks over him and he sort of, they call that right there. Well, I mean, that's that now. The next one he gets, he's suspended for the next game. That's 6.
In the playoffs on the 7th, it's an automatic suspension. Mo Williams will shoot the tee.
See, Marv, now what you've got to be concerned about if you're Dwight Howard, you got to stay away from a double technical where you get wrapped up with somebody and they call 2 technicals, or in a game down the road, something like that happening. So this is a very serious situation as Mo Williams misses the free throw. There is Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing was also called for a technical. So Mo Williams with another opportunity.
Now the game, the emotional pitch is here. Now you're starting to understand the magnitude of this game. Orlando wins a commanding 3-1 lead. Cleveland wins, they get the home court back, and if it's a 7th game, it would be on their home court. And you could see the updated here, Dwight Howard now with 6. Now, Marv, that could possibly be rescinded. I'm not saying it's going to be, but they can look at that and they could take that away. They did that with Kobe Bryant, one of his technical fouls. So, you know, it stands at 6 right now, but we'll see what happens if they take a look at it.
So the bucket by Howard, good. Foul by Varejao, and that wrap-up attempt for Varejao, his 4th. And Howard able to complete a 3-point play. And that led to the technical on Howard, technical on assistant coach Patrick Ewing. And it's a 3-point Cavalier lead with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. So the back on the floor, gets it to West, shoots for 3. Just to beat the shot clock. And Howard with the rebound, but stepped out. So the Cavaliers maintain possession. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Over now, we're talking to Bob Vandeweghe, who's the president of basketball operations for Orlando Magic. He was talking to Joel Glass about whether they can appeal that technical, whether the league just looks at it. I asked Dwight Howard before the game if he's been warned about the technicals. He goes, he got a letter from the league, but everybody, his teammates, said, keep your cool, don't get one. He said, I got to do my best. He got caught in the emotion of that play. Mark?
All right, James setting things up on Petrus, who just checked back in. James with a long three. LeBron James backing it up on Michael Petrus and knocked it down from three-point territory. Cavaliers now lead it 77-71. Here's Alston trying to go high off glass, and it is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Howard.
Well, LeBron James could not find that shooting touch. You heard Craig Sager talk about after game 3 coming over here with Chris Jenny. Didn't like the spacing with his feet, thought they were too close together. Tonight he's got some easy baskets. He stepped back and knocked that one down beautifully.
West not able to hit. Just under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Now James on Lewis. A very quiet night for Rashard. Howard rejected by Wallace. And at half court, Joe DeRosa indicating a foul on the Magic. It's on Turgler. That's his third.
That's a little retro Ben Wallace there, where he was 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was the anchor of that Detroit Pistons defense. It looked like Dwight Howard had him beat on the baseline. He spun back, and this is a guy who's really suffered with a lot of leg and knee problems this year, but he got a nice piece of that shot and prevented an easy score.
Cavaliers trying to tie up this series at 2. Orlando looking to take a 3-1 lead with game number 5 back in Cleveland on Thursday night. Here's James getting inside. Petrus went down. The crowd wanted a foul. It was not called. Howard gets to the rebound. Alston trying to use the pick. Here's Petrus for 3. Boy, is that a difficult shot.
Well, Mo Williams made a mistake, though. You're that hot, you can't help. Alston looked like he got in the lane a little bit. Mo Williams can't help off that play. Marv, that's an easy pass over there. I know it was a tough shot, but you can't leave the hot hand like that.
Here's Gibson. He's been hot from 3, not that time. Third 3 for Petrus, and that was a fadeaway 3. Foul is called on West. So the Cavaliers over the foul limit. That's 3 on West.
Well, keep your eye on Mo Williams. He left, and that's way too much space. And even though he made a nice effort to close out, he's not going to bother the bigger Petrus's jump shot. Michael Petrus, sort of loves those corners because that's where so much of the action is for the Orlando Magic, off all those traps and double teams you see in the post. Normally it's that second pass that leads to the 3.
Turgler now 2 of 3 at the line. And there's a former member of the Orlando Magic, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq direct from that intensive 2-day broadcast course at Syracuse University. 2 days, I think he's ready.
Did you pay his initiation there at Syracuse, or did you have them waive the fee? Or
he was on scholarship.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Shaq, a member of the Magic team that went to the final, swept by the Rockets. Here's James getting it out to Gibson.
So with Wallace out there now, Howard can really help defensively. There you go. But Wallace will dive if you help out and stuff like that, and he left him on that play, Marv. So that's where he's going to score. But Howard could really be active here defensively off of Ben Wallace.
So that's a goaltend. The basket will count. I have a note here that points out that Shaq's Orlando team was swept by the Rockets, led by Kenny Smith. Here's Petrus. Offensive foul.
And once again, it's Ben Wallace. So Ben Wallace is making his mark felt here on the defensive end. He gets a layup on one end. We've seen him get a block. This time he steps over, takes the offensive foul on Petrus. Very close there to sliding a little bit, but Petrus is doing a better job driving that ball to the basket and not settling just for 3-point shots.
Final minute, third quarter. Cavaliers lead at 79-76. James looking for the screen. Petrus able to stay with him. Shot clock to 5. A long 3 for James. He hit one a moment ago.
Yeah, that wasn't a good shot by LeBron. That was sort of a bailout.
Here's Alston. Nice move on the penetration. What a quarter for Rafer Alston. 21 points in all. 15 have come here in the third.
Well, he's kept his team in the game. Now you're going to get out of the fourth quarter. The question is going to be, is it going to be hack Dwight Howard? He's only taken 5 free throws here tonight.
There is a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. James, rebounded by Howard. Final seconds of the quarter. Alston. And that's the end of the third. Cavaliers have led by as many as 8. The Magic have led by as many as 8. A 1-point game as we head to the fourth. Stay tuned for world premiere footage from Modern Warfare 2 coming November 10th. Coach Stan Van Gundy.
Well, Coach, throughout these playoffs, the Orlando Magic never gives up. They play so well when things are down, a chip on their shoulder. Is the scene set here for a great fourth quarter by your team?
Well, it better be, because we didn't play well the entire first half on the defensive end, so we better.
What's the biggest adjustment you need to make to stopping their offense?
There was no adjustment made, none. We got to play harder, and we did play a little harder in the third quarter.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Craig, it is a 79-78 lead for the Cavaliers, trying to tie this series up at 2. Orlando looking for a commanding 3-1 lead. Mo Williams way off. And it's run down by Michael Petrus.
And you can see that Mike Brown has left LeBron James on the floor. Normally tries to give him a little rest, but when he's rested him tonight, they're -8.
Petrus is fouled, a hard foul by West.
Boy, Delonte West is one tough player. Teammates of Jameer Nelson at St. Joe's. Those two guys, a brilliant backcourt there for Phil Martelli. But you see here the fake. Watch Delonte West come over. Michael Petrus very fortunate there. He didn't hurt that left leg when he landed. That's going to be very interesting here this fourth quarter, Marv, because, again, you start feeling the stakes. What's at stake here now? 3-1 lead for the Magic, or 2-2 with Cleveland, and the home court advantage as Petrus misses the first free throw.
Third on West, replaced by Wally Serbiak. Petrus now 2 of 3 at the line. So the Cavaliers maintain the 1-point lead. The season very much on the line here for Cleveland.
They don't want to go down 3-1. Not the way they've struggled against this Magic team. This Magic team has played very well against them all year.
Serbiak coming up short. Howard is fouled. Wallace tried to strip him.
Now, one of the things that Stan Van Gundy had talked about, and Mike Brown, is if they're going to start hacking Dwight Howard, they get into the penalty early. So now when you start playing all those pick and rolls, you start putting Alston or a Turkoglu on the free throw line. So they got to be very careful to play without fouling here and not get into the penalty way too soon.
Here's Lewis with space. Kicks it back out. Alston passed on the shot. Petrus for 3. This time from the right-hand corner. Petrus with 14 points. That's his 4th from downtown.
Dwight Howard's got to be careful. He had a little action there after that play again. He's got to stay away from any of that stuff.
There's James. But Howard got a piece of it. Nice tip by Ilgauskas. And the game is tied at 81.
That's what happens, though, when you go for the shot block. Someone's got to block out your man.
Oh, Alston able to get right to the rim.
It's sort of an and one tape here for him. This little skip to my Lou. This is how he was found in the New York playground playing like this.
Rafer Alston acquired after that injury suffered by Jameer Nelson. Ilgauskas with the tip. And then the standing one-hander to tie the game at 83.
Well, Z's got 10. West has got 13. Mo Williams 18. So you see the help is helping LeBron here tonight. Here's Alston once again. Is anybody going to guard him?
A wide-open 3. He has 26 points, a new playoff career high. That's his 6th three-pointer. What a performance by the New York City product, Rafer Alston, and his team now leads 86-83. The shot clock is down at 3. Mo Williams on a spin and nowhere to go. It's deflected out. Last touch by the Magic with just 1 on the shot clock.
Look at all the space on this shot. This is the hottest guy in the building. There's nobody even in the same area code right now as him. Only 1 second on the shot clock. And what I'm seeing here with Cleveland getting stagnant on the offensive end, Marv, that shot clock is getting against them.
Oh, here's Williams. And that, I don't know, that was kind of a quick buzzer.
That was a different 1 second than in Cleveland, wasn't it, when LeBron hit that three?
Mike Brown is upset.
I think it's probably what he's telling him. Sometimes, though, when it shows 1, you don't know how much of that 1 there really is, you know?
Could be 0.5,
yes,
0.4.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's called a home clock, and that's the home court advantage.
Alston met by Ilgauskas, who comes out. Here's Lewis. Banks it. Rashard Lewis with only his 2nd field goal. He has 6 points. The Magic picking it up here in the 4th. Once again sparked by Rafer Alston. Serbiak. Kept alive by Wallace, who's played well.
That's what he does. He gives you extra possessions. But again, Cleveland getting very stagnant on the offense, shooting a lot of jump shots now that they weren't shooting earlier.
Petrus for 3.
That would have been a gigantic shot, Marv. That would have pushed the lead to 8.
Williams trying to squeeze his way through. Not a good shot, though. 88-83, Orlando. 4 minutes gone by in the 4th. Here's Howard making contact with Serbiak. And the foul is on Serbiak. That's his 3rd.
Well, you think about this now for Orlando. Turkoglu, who's their finisher, is getting all this rest. LeBron James has gotten no rest. Rashard Lewis to kiss off the glass. The Magic by 5, and all the emotion in this building is on their side.
Welcome back to Orlando. The Magic with a 5-point lead with 8:05 to play in regulation. Once again this season, the Magic worked to improve the quality of life in the Orlando community. They hosted special school events, built new safe spaces where children and families could learn and play, and also provided military men and women with unforgettable NBA experiences. The NBA, where caring happens.
Well, this building is rocking. 8:05 to go in the 4th quarter. Orlando with an 88-83 lead on Cleveland. The Cavaliers, off that foul by Serbiak, picked up their 3rd team foul here in these early moments. And the Magic will put it in play in their front court.
Well, the current concerns you had if you were Cleveland is that Orlando had not shot the ball well here in the playoffs. We documented that early. Tonight, Marv, they're 13 of 28 from 3. They're plus 27 behind the three-point line. That's very reminiscent of Game 7 that you and Reggie did when they went into Boston. 13 of 21 from 3, winning Game 7. So when you can shoot the 3, you're never out of the game.
And prior to that Game 7, they had not shot from downtown effectively over the first 6. Here's Turkoglu on a fade. Turkoglu able to handle that deflection. Lee for 3. Lee from downtown. 91-83 Orlando.
Well, Turkoglu's coming in with fresh legs, and he just beat Ilgauskas to that loose basketball.
James met by Lee. Shot clock down to 5. Here's LeBron to the left hand, and he is fouled. If it's Howard, it's number 4.
Look at the hustle by Hedo there, Marv, as he finds that loose ball. Kicks it out to Courtney Lee, who knocks in the 14th three of the night.
And the foul is on Courtney Lee, not Dwight Howard, and LeBron James now having trouble at the line. He's 6 of 9 at the free throw strike. An 8-0 run put together by the Magic.
Remember now, LeBron missed 5 free throws in the fourth quarter of Game 3 and was 1 of 5 from the three-point line. So he has not gotten any rest. He's the guy that's going to have to carry them here in this fourth quarter. Orlando's getting very balanced scoring here. Everybody's knocking down threes now.
There's Howard, blocked from behind by James. Oh, look out. Ilgauskas stepped away from that pass out by James. Ends up in the backcourt. It's a violation. The turnover, the ball back to the Magic.
Well, I don't think we can overstate the importance of the last 7 minutes here for both of these teams. Can Orlando go up 3-1? Cleveland with the best record in the NBA. Can they square it at 2-2 and get back to home court? It's going to be very interesting.
Petrus with the fake. Petrus to the bucket. Williams backs it up on Alston. Sloppy ball handling here by the Cavaliers. That was last touch by Alston.
Well, Marv, all that ball movement is gone now. There's so much dribbling. Mo Williams is dribbling, Delonte West, LeBron James. So now there's not that passing and cutting and all that we saw in that first half. And this is when they've gotten themselves in trouble. It's when everybody's tried to do too much off the dribble.
There's James on a post-up as they clear out. LeBron goes at Petrus and a foul. Foul committed by Petrus. No question, as you look at these two teams, it's the Magic with the fresh legs. Although the Cavaliers coming into this series were very well rested, perhaps too well rested.
Well, look at all the minutes played. Obviously, that is the minutes coming into tonight. But look at how many more minutes the Magic have played. Or you talked about it, 17 days rest. Yesterday, Mike Brown told his team that they're not even going to go into the gym. They're going to take the day. They're going to get their legs, get their heads together and stuff. And obviously, he knows this team. But they're in a pressure cooker here right now. I think the question's going to be, can Orlando defend LeBron James without fouling him? Because right now he's just putting his head down, going to the rim and getting fouled.
91-86, Orlando coming up on 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Howard. An awkward move by Howard. And now Williams sets up against Lewis. Williams trying to clear things away as West post up. Alston then goes to the step back and hits.
He might be their best low post player other than LeBron. He loves it down there. Now the question is going to be Dwight Howard. They're throwing him the ball in the paint. And he wants these touches. He's got to finish. And he's throwing up 2 very lazy shots at the basket. No power at all.
Lewis on a fade. Rashard Lewis with 8 points.
Well, they've gone with Wally Zerbiak tonight to play him rather than Pavlovich, who had no points in 25 minutes in Game 3.
James on the post and is able to score. Went right at Petrus.
How about the last 2 times they've gone away from all the dribbling, gone into the post, and got 2 scores.
29 for LeBron James. The Magic lead is 3, 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Tough matchup here for Zerbiak. Lewis try to throw back outside, but it'll be Cleveland ball. He threw it away.
Best way to settle the game down is get that ball down in the low post. Delonte West goes to work the nice little step back jump shot, and then look at LeBron James. Look where he catches this ball. No help, the quick spin, and the score.
No lobs, no back cuts,
okay to keep going? Go the whole, you go the whole thing? Hard?
Stan Van Gundy checking with Rafer Alston, who said yes, he's all right to remain on the floor. Rafer, 10 of 14 from the field, 26 points. He's hit 6 threes. But the Orlando lead is now down to 3 with just under 5 left in the fourth. Here's James popping it out. West looking to tie it. Not able to hit the 3.
LeBron James got his teammate a great shot. That's now 11 of 28 from the floor for West and Mo Williams. So although they have scored tonight, Marv, they still have not made shots at a high percentage.
Here's Lewis with the catch and shoot from downtown. Another 3 for the Magic. They are 15 of 30. That's incredible shooting from beyond the three-point line. And Rashard Lewis now 3 of 3 from the field in this fourth quarter.
Well, that's that go-to middle pick and roll, and usually it's the opposite side where you get hurt, and that time Rashard Lewis rotates up. It's exactly what happened in game 3.
6-point Orlando lead. James lost the dribble off his foot. LeBron is saying no, was last touched by the Magic. Does not get the call.
Marv, you know what you're going to see right here. You're going to see Turkoglu pop out. Dwight Howard's going to step up. They're going to play screen roll and see what they can do. It's going to be another open 3 probably.
Shot clock down to 6. Turkoglu. And it's deflected out. Last touched by the Cavs.
Good effort there by Dwight Howard to keep that ball alive. Notice how they've gone away from Howard after he's had 2 or 3 post catches, didn't finish. I think they're concerned also, too, about Cleveland starting to foul. So this is Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis, Petrus, Rafer Alston time. That's when they go to work on that perimeter.
Varejao and Gibson come on for Ilgauskas and Serbiak. Magic with a fresh clock. 3:25 to go in the fourth. Orlando looking to take that commanding 3 games to 1. Here's Alston wide open for 3. Looked like Mike Brown wanted to slap the ball out of his hand.
I'm sure he did, because if that shot goes in, he's down 9 points.
Varejao, yes, and the foul off the setup from James.
How big was that miss by Alston? Instead of going up 9, a possible 3-point play to cut it to 3. A beautiful play by LeBron James. Great bounce pass. And you need to see how much he trusts Anderson Varejao to catch that ball up in traffic and finish. Chance here for a 3-point play to cut it to 3 points.
He's only a 62% free throw shooter during the season and knocks down the free throw. The foul was on Turkoglu, his 4th. So it's back to a 3-point Magic lead. Orlando has won 10 of the last 14 games overall against Cleveland the last 3+ years. They've won 6 of the last 7 here in Orlando. Turkoglu to the rim will not count. Traveling violation.
That's a good call. He picked up it and took the 3 steps. It's the same call they made on LeBron James the other night in game 2 before he hit that long 3-pointer to win the game. Well, if you take a look at Hedo Turkoglu, he's the guy that makes this screen roll game go for the Orlando Magic. And if you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay against it. And it's the guy who has to read it. Watch the high screen roll here. Drives it down. He has the size to throw over the defense, and he finds Howard for the dunk. This time it's Gortat. Stretches out the defense. Petrus with a pump fake, drives it, dishes to Gortat for the score, who was the screener. You switch this pick and roll. Alston says, I got a big one on me. I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to knock that down. And then watch this, the roll. Serbiak has to help for a moment. When he does, Rashard Lewis rolls up behind. He knocks down the 3. So when you play pick and roll defense against Orlando, if you make the slightest mistake, they're going to make you pay.
Both teams have a foul to give. Both teams with 2 full and a 20 remaining. 3-point Orlando lead. Oh, James making contact with Petrus, and it's a foul. He hit Petrus with an elbow as he looked to spin, and he got him in the head.
LeBron swung in there with that left elbow as he pivoted and got Michael Petras squarely in the face right there, right on the jaw.
And for James, that is his 4th foul. Possession back to the Magic with 2:44 remaining, and Michael Petras able to shake it off. He could take a punch or an elbow. Shot clock down to 10. Good play by Bergeau. Knocks it away from Howard.
Howard's got to meet that pass. You can't just keep your feet there like you're in cement. You got to protect the passer.
James lost it.
That's 2 turnovers in a row now for LeBron.
They double up on Turkoglu. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the 4th. Petras for 3. Rebounded by James. Another opportunity for the Cavaliers. James to the rim. Whipping by Petras, and then Lewis. The lead is down to 1.
Well, this game has become Cleveland in the paint. That's 46 points. And 3-point line, 45 points for the Magic.
Howard off the double, and that'll put Dwight Howard to the free throw line, where he's hit 4 of 5.
LeBron has 3 turnovers in this period. This time just a beautiful crossover on Petras, who reaches in. The incredible finish with that power that we always talk about in speed. Now, 8 of 10 from the line in game 3 for Howard. Can he make his free throws here under pressure in this kind of game?
Foul on Varejao, number 5. National coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. Game 5, Nuggets and Lakers. That series even at 2. Then Thursday we'll be back right here on TNT. Game 5, Magic and Cavaliers from Cleveland, starting 8 o'clock Eastern time. So Howard now 4 for 6, 59% at the line during the regular season, 62 during the playoffs. He did have success in game 4. He said a secret to making the free throws, I should say in game 3, involved humming songs to himself at the free throw line. Not the same David Hasselhoff tune that Dirk Nowitzki enjoyed so much.
Well, Stan Van Gundy's singing that song to him right now. He's helping him with this free throw.
Well, it's 1 of 2. 97-95, Orlando. A minute 35 to play in the 4th. James kicks it out. Here's West, challenges Howard and scores to tie the game.
How about that play by Delonte West? Went right at Dwight Howard and finished on the baseline. What a great play.
Alston with no hesitation comes up short. Rebound James. Once again, we're going down to the final minute. James on the fade draws the foul, and he will go to the line to shoot 2.
See, the difference right now is Cleveland is doing everything going towards the basket, and all those threes that were so good for Orlando now they have missed. LeBron James putting the pressure on the defense. Delonte West, how about this? The trust of LeBron, he gives the ball up. The fearless drive of West on the baseline. And now LeBron, wow, he wasn't even close on that one either. Again, we're talking about the 5 missed free throws. Remember now, in game 3, he hasn't set out the entire second half, so he's got to be feeling some fatigue right now as well.
And that foul on Howard, it's number 5. James has missed 2 free throws this 4th quarter. And he's given the Cavaliers a 1-point lead, so they've come from 8 back once again. 1 minute to go in the 4th.
Normally, Hedo Turkoglu will be played by LeBron James. They have him on Rashard Lewis now.
Shot clock to 6. Here's Cavaliers. That's a 3-point attempt. Rebounded by James.
I just don't like that shot. You're in the penalty. You got a chance. You drive that ball to the basket. All they've done is take long jump shots this last 2.5 minutes.
It's an 8-1 run by the Cavaliers. LeBron setting it up. The shot clock down to 10. Wanted a screen. Not able to get it. Now Williams sets it. Shot clock to 5. James with the jumper. Turkoglu able to track it down. And they can just run out this possession. 15 seconds. No timeout being called by Stan Van Gundy. Down to 10. Here's Petrus for three. A chase for the loose ball. It's deflected out. Last touch by the Cavaliers. Looks like West got a piece of it. Orlando in possession with 6 4/10 seconds to go in a game they trail by 1.
Well, Michael Petrus takes a long three. This has been the story for Orlando here at the end. He misses it. Howard, great hustle. The ball knocked out by Delonte West.
Game 1 on the jump ball. Mo Williams with an opportunity to win it. Could not at the buzzer. Game 2. You remember this shot, Doug?
I sure do.
LeBron James with a 3 after Hedo Turkoglu had hit a sensational shot himself, and LeBron comes back to finish what turned out to be an epic game and tied the series at a game apiece. Orlando led here 96-90 after that three-pointer by Rashard Lewis, and Petrus missed that 3. And since then, at 8-1, Cleveland spurt the last 4 minutes. We're down to 6 4/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. The Cavaliers up by a point.
Let's see who they put LeBron James on. Let's see if they put him on Turkoglu or if they put him on Rashard Lewis, because on the sideline out of bounds plays, Orlando loves to have Turkoglu throw the ball in to Dwight Howard, get the handoff back, and try to attack. It looks to me like LeBron is going to be on Hedo Turkoglu. He's been guarding Rashard Lewis. They brought Ben Wallace in the game to play against Rashard Lewis now. So watch Turkoglu throwing the ball in. He likes to get it back and try to turn the corner and make a play.
And the Cavaliers are over the foul limit. Orlando does have 2:20 timeouts remaining. Turkoglu can't find anybody, and he'll take one of those timeouts. Did not want to take a chance. Orlando down to 1 timeout to go. Let's get back to the keys of the game. We'll revisit as you set things up right at the start of the telecast.
Well, you see LeBron, what he's done again tonight, but he has got help from his teammates also with 7 assists. Dwight Howard only 4 points in the second half. Bench production is still Magic plus 11. And the fourth quarter story, it's been the Cavs in the paint. And after being so hot for Orlando, they have missed the last few jump shots they have had. It'll be very interesting. Remember that soundbite that Stan Van Gundy had in game 1 when he said, guys, we've been here before, they haven't, talking about all the close games. That's not the case now. This is the 3rd close game. So Cleveland has been here now 3 times after waltzing through the first 2 rounds, 8-0 being unblemished.
Orlando has missed its last 6 shot attempts. They do have that 1 timeout left. Once again, Turkoglu will look to inbound. 6 4/10 seconds remaining with the Cavaliers in front by virtue of that 1 free throw by LeBron James, 98-97. Now discussion at the scorer's table. The lead official Scott Foster apparently straightening things out. Wanted to double check issues involving substitutions. Turkoglu gets it in. Here's Lewis turning and he shoots. Yes! With 4 1/10 to go. And the Cavaliers take a timeout. The Magic with a 100-98 lead. How about Rashard Lewis with 10 points in the fourth quarter after the slow start. 10 of his 14 have come here in the fourth.
How about that play, though? They saw Ben Wallace on him. Ben Wallace normally plays people inside. You told me Stan Van Gundy's not a good coach. What a great James get his hands on the ball. Are they going to make somebody else have to beat them? Stan Van Gundy talked about it after game 2. He said, if I had it to do all over again, I would have done something differently. Probably that would have meant to put 2 guys on LeBron James. He's not guarding the ball. Well, I guess he's got Courtney Lee. With the matchup here, they're going to have to switch everything and try to keep LeBron James from getting his hands on the basketball.
4 1/10 seconds left. Mo Williams will throw in. 2-point lead for the Magic. James is down low, played by Petrus. James coming to the ball. Petrus is with him. Here is LeBron. Look out, he's tripped up. With 0.5 of a second to go. Pressure free throws for LeBron James, who is 10 of 14 at the line.
This is what you do. You don't shoot a jump shot. You drive the ball to the basket, contact. I'm sure Orlando fans are not happy. Contact, LeBron goes down. Now he's got 2 free throws to tie the game.
He's only 4 of 6 from the line in this fourth quarter. The lead is down to 1. Cavaliers do have 2 timeouts remaining. 0.5 of a second left. Gortat now has come on to help on the rebound, replacing Lee. They're on their feet here at Amway. And he hits it. He got the roll on the front rim to tie the game. And Stan Van Gundy takes a timeout.
Now remember, now with 0.5, you can still get a catch and shoot. At 0.3, you've got to get a lob. So they still get a catch and shoot. How about this? LeBron James. Ball looks like it was going to roll out. And the last minute, the spin brought it back into the basket. Look at LeBron saying, whoa.
The Cavaliers and the Magic tied at 100. What do you look for from Stan Van Gundy?
Well, it's got to be a catch and shoot, obviously. And let's see who they have guarding Rashard Lewis. Let's see if Turkoglu's throwing the ball in. Normally, you'd like Turkoglu to throw it in, even though he's a great shooter, because he can see over the top of a defender. When you have a smaller player throw in, you've already seen it in the Lakers series with Denver, where they've turned the ball over a couple times. So see if they can run a play, get a catch and shoot here, and maybe do what LeBron did, send this game and win it to right here at the end.
They have used Dwight Howard on a lob during the course of the regular season. Let's see how they play it. Turkoglu will inbound. Mike Brown going with the size of Zydrunas Ilgauskas to affect the pass. Turkoglu looking for more room as the official Mike Callahan gives him the ball. 0.5 of a second. All right, Turkoglu can't find anybody. And now here's the lob, and it's broken up. No call being made as Varejao and Howard in a collision. Stan Van Gundy upset, looking for a foul on Varejao, and we're headed to overtime.
Wow, very fortunate there. Let's see Varejao. Does he ride him off this? Let's watch this. The ball is up. Wow, that is... Woo! Man, oh man.
That's a tough call to make because you could say Howard was yanking on his arm. We'll be back after this.
Hey, we're in overtime because of you. We're in overtime because of you.
Well, Mike Brown apparently and obviously very pleased about the way Anderson Varejao played Dwight Howard. Fans here not so pleased.
Well, you know, it's hard. You got two big guys both arm wrestling with each other. Who's creating the contact, who's not? I think the question is, you know, what fans get upset with, they see LeBron go to the line with 0.5 of a second to go to shoot 2 free throws. So that's going to be very interesting here now as both teams, fatigue will be a factor here. And again, Orlando, when they get tired, are they going to be able to make those threes? Because Cleveland is driving the ball to the basket. So it's two different teams right now. Cleveland, who's in the attack mode, and Orlando still shooting threes.
And take a look at this series, and this is only game 4. 2 games decided by 1 point. We go to overtime for the first time. And what was costly As you look back at the fourth quarter, and will be discussed particularly here in Orlando, Cleveland 15 trips to the free throw line, 11 of 15. Orlando only 4, but not able to hit their free throws, 1 of 4 at the line.
But in fairness, Marv, they were shooting all jump shots. I mean, they were shooting all those threes and jump shots where Cleveland was driving that ball to the basket.
5-minute overtime. The game is tied at 100. As Turkoglu tried to make the turn, played well by Varejao. He steals. James up with it. Here comes Gibson. Takes the hit, not able to finish, but he was hit from behind by Alston.
Another good defensive play by Varejao. He's got 9 points tonight, only 1 rebound. One of the reasons why Marvy's not rebounding is he's playing like a perimeter player tonight. How many times have we seen this? Stole the ball from Turkoglu earlier in the game. This time he switches, gets his hand in there, knocks it loose, and Gibson's got a chance to give Cleveland an early lead here in overtime.
Gibson a 77% free throw shooter during the regular season. So Gibson has contributed tonight, 7 points, played 17 minutes, hits on both, and the Cavaliers are up 102-100. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, and Craig Sager were at Amway Arena in Orlando. Rafer Alston, who has a hot hand, he's a high point man for the Magic. Here's Howard off a double, gets inside and puts it in.
Now that time he spun back. Every other time he's gone across the middle, he's kept going the same way and throwing up a weak shot. That time he got contact, spun back, and got the dunk.
The game is tied at 102 with a minute gone by in overtime. Miscommunication between James and Gibson.
They're going to go into the post. You got to finish, big fella. This time you get your work done, contact, you spin away from it, you go up and you power the ball to the basket. That's the way you play in the post.
And Howard is playing with 5 fouls. Well, looks like West fell down. Varejao not able to get back, and Howard has given the Magic a 2-point lead.
Actually, that's that middle pick and roll again, and actually Varejao fell down early too, so that's why he could not get back into play.
West came up short, rebound Varejao. No question Varejao's best game of this series. Petrus on James, who shoots for 3. Yes! LeBron James from downtown.
And it was because of the extra possession that Varejao gave you with that offensive rebound. We saw Ben Wallace do it at the end of the first half and got Daniel Gibson a 3.
Cavaliers by 1. James with 37 points. Here's Howard putting a move on Varejao.
Boy, LeBron James is looking at Varejao. He said, foul him. That's 3 times now he's thrown the ball in the paint. He's got 3 dunks. That goes back to game 1 where he had 6 dunks. Got to take the fouls. He's 5 of 7 from the line.
23 points for Howard. James's pass off the leg of Howard. And he and James come together. Look like they try to tie him up. Varejao complaining the foul is called. It is on Varejao. That is number 6. And that's a big loss for the Cavaliers.
Now, LeBron James has made some careless plays in the fourth quarter and in overtime. I know he's hit some big shots, but tried to force a pass in there with no place to go. Remember, he had turned it over when he and Daniel Gibson had a miscommunication. I think he had at least 3 turnovers in that fourth quarter. So by my count, that's at least 5 turnovers in the third quarter. That's his 7th turnover of the game. And I think 5 of them, Marv, have come in the fourth quarter and in overtime.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas will come on for Anderson Varejao.
Now the thing you miss here is the pick and roll defense because Z cannot move his feet. So when Howard sets that screen and you get all strung out, that's when the Orlando Magic get all those 3-point shots. So let's see if they go to Turkoglu and Howard.
1 point Magic lead, 2:20 remaining in the 5-minute overtime session. Shot clock down to 8. Petrus for 3. How about 17 three-pointers out of 37 attempts. That's 46% from beyond the three-point line. It's a 4-point Orlando lead, just under 2 to go in overtime.
How about, Marv, you're plus 36 from the three-point line and up 4 in the game.
James with a long three, way off, an air ball. Gibson fields it, but it's a 24-second violation. Basket won't count.
Starts settling for jump shots. Remember, LeBron has played the entire second half. He got no rest. He's had some turnovers here late. Shot an air ball on that three. A big, big, big possession here for Orlando. Right now they're up 4. Can they push it to 6 or maybe even 7?
Alston is wide open for 3. And here comes James. The lead pass for West is picked off by Alston. Turnover number 8 for James. Lewis kicks it out. They swing it. Turkoglu passed on a 3. Takes to the rim. And it's tipped home by Howard. What an overtime session for Dwight Howard.
Well, he's quicker and he's getting to the basket. They let him get 3 dunks to start. And see, Ilgauskas just doesn't have the foot speed to stay with him. Another careless play by LeBron. 8 turnovers now, Marv. You spoke about that. And this is where Orlando thrives against Cleveland. They get it in the open court. Hidu misses the easy shot, the ball coming off the rim, the kind roll. And the Magic love it as they lead by 6.
The 3 by Michael Petrus, and the Cavaliers in big trouble.
And the X-Factor Petrus, he had 17 points tonight off the bench.
There's James off the fake. Waffles inside. Little scoop shot. So the lead is now 4 as we come up on a minute remaining in this overtime. 39 points for James, along with 12 rebounds, 7 assists, but his team is down. Here's Turkoglu. Try to bank it too strong. Gibson is on it. They have to hurry. Here's James. It's a 4-point game. LeBron goes right at Howard and is rejected, but a foul. It is on Lewis.
I'll tell you how big that play was, Marv. That gives him a 2-for-1 possession here. If LeBron makes these 2 free throws, they're going to be guaranteed probably the last possession of the game as well. They called the foul on Rashard Lewis, not on Dwight Howard. Howard got the shot cleanly.
LeBron 12 of 16 at the line. Hit the 2 clutch free throws with just 0.5 of a second remaining in regulation.
I'll tell you, Delonte West has done a nice job the last 2 possessions on that screen roll against Hedo Turkoglu and Dwight Howard. He has fought that screen and forced Turkoglu to take 2 very difficult shots. Ben Wallace is in the game now for defensive purposes in place of Zydrunas Ilgauskas, so he'll be guarding Dwight Howard.
LeBron James with the 8th 40-plus in his playoff career. 41 points for James. Shot clock down to 6, and Howard is fouled. It's a good foul by Wallace. It's a 2-point game, and Howard is on the line where he is 5 of 7.
Well, you make 2, you make it a 2-possession game, obviously. You make 1, it's a 1-possession game. You miss them both, and Cleveland can beat you with the 3. So that's all the scenarios you're looking here at the free throw line.
As you saw, Cavaliers 2:20s remaining. Same for the Magic. Dwight Howard in game 3, 14 of 19 at the line, 8 of 10 in the 4th quarter, and once again hitting his foul shot, 6 of 8 now.
Well, can he push it to a 2-possession game? This is when young guys in this league become men. Playoffs, the greatest of pressure. Can you come through for your team?
And he does. Cavaliers take a timeout. The Magic by 4 with 21 seconds remaining in overtime. So Howard with 27 points in all, 10 have come in the overtime.
Well, it's sort of interesting, Marv. When you look at the 2 wins, Dwight Howard's averaging 27 points, 30 and 24 in the 2 games. In the loss, he has 10. So he's come to life here when they've needed him most. What's happened is Orlando was living and dying by that 3 late in the quarter, in the 4th quarter when Cleveland caught up. They've done their work in the paint. He's got all 10. He's got 3 dunks, a tip in, and 2 free throws. 10 big points in the paint where they needed him.
All right, how do the Cavaliers play it here? Obviously need a quick bucket. 21 seconds to go.
Well, you get something going to the basket, obviously. You get something quickly. But if a 3 presents itself that's wide open, you take it. But you don't run a play here to necessarily get a 3. You want a quick score, whatever that is. Whether it's 2 free throws, a layup. And if you get a quick score, then you go for a steal, and then you get the foul.
Mo Williams will look to throw it in, played by Courtney Lee. Looking for James. There's LeBron putting the move on Petrus. Stopped by Howard. It's a jump ball.
That's a great play by Dwight Howard. Waiting at the basket. Petrus does a nice job. He funnels him into it, and this is where you're the defensive player of the year. You lead the league in block shots. You're waiting. You go up strong. Left hand all over the basketball there by Dwight Howard. That's a beautiful play. Now can they control the tip? You tip it back to Turkoglu, and Turkoglu makes 2 free throws. You're in great shape here. Stan Van Gundy's going to take a timeout. And what he's going to do, he's going to talk to his guys about, I want to set up the jump ball situation. I want to get the 2 guys who are my best free throw shooters in a position where Howard can go up and tip the ball to a great free throw shooter, because then you're going to have to take the foul and you give yourselves a chance to go up 6.
If Orlando can hold on, they take a 3-games-to-1 lead with Game 5 in Cleveland on Thursday night right here on TNT, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Only 8 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a best-of-7. Teams taking a 3-1 lead have advanced 96% of the time.
See if LeBron can get up quickly and steal this tip. They had the jump ball to start the overtime. He jumped against him, and Howard controlled it. Let's see if he can control this one. And he does.
Let's see Westlow with the save. Here's James, nice fake. Looking for the possible 4-point play. There was no call as he shot a 3 and thought he would draw a foul on it. And now a foul is called. It is on Petrus, number 5.
Well, LeBron was very upset here as he pump fake. Watch this. He gets Howard in the air, and they ruled that that's a good play. Howard did not leave his feet. What he does for a moment, watch, he's back on the ground, though, and LeBron jumps into him to create the contact. That was a good no call by Scott Foster.
Now Ilgauskas to the line for the first time tonight. We're down to 7 and 4/10 seconds remaining in overtime. It's a 3-point game.
Well, Stan Van Gundy, if Ilgauskas makes this free throw, I would assume would take a timeout and move this ball. You run the risk if you turn the ball over, you're under the opponent's basket, and they can get an easy score. Reggie Miller, remember that 3 that he hit against the Knicks.
It's down to a 2-point game. And the foul is given. No timeout taken. There's West fouls Lewis, who is an excellent free throw shooter.
Well, you notice he didn't went and got the ball. And you know, Marv, I was in a situation like that in Chicago that I learned, though. I told the guys one day, I said, if you can't get it in, take the timeout. And we didn't take it. We threw the ball away and lost the game. And I said, at no point in time will I ever give the team the option. And I'll take the timeout and move it, because under pressure, You just don't know how players are going to handle that. But Turkoglu did a nice job getting the ball to Lewis, who's an excellent free throw shooter.
2 for 2 tonight. Strong finish for Rashard Lewis after a quiet first half. He has 14 points in all. Rashard shooting 84% from the line during the regular season. He had only 4 points through the first 3 quarters. So he has scored 11 from the fourth quarter on.
When you think about LeBron, all that he's had to do in this second half, the whole second half, too, he either guarded Turkoglu or Rashard Lewis, so he wasn't guarding Alston a lot of that fourth quarter. He burned a lot of energy tonight on the defensive end.
Cavaliers do have a timeout remaining, but Lewis hits on both. And the Cavs will take their final timeout with 6 4/10 seconds remaining. And the Magic up by 4.
Under no circumstances, if you're Orlando, do you foul. Only fouls make bad things happen. It could be a 3-point play. It could be a 4-point play. You want to defend. If they score a 2, they score a 3. You take the ball out of bounds. You can get a timeout. You can move it. No fouls. You got to stay away from any kind of fouls. And if you're Cleveland, you got to get something quickly and hope that Orlando self-destructs here at the end.
All right, coming up next, it's the overtime edition of Inside the NBA with Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Reggie. Ernie looking very intense as he gets ready. But the Cavaliers will put it in play in their front court. The Magic 115, the Cavaliers 111. And again, Williams will throw it in with Lee protecting on the inbound. James at the top of the circle. LeBron for 3. Yes. It is a 1-point game with 4.1 remaining. They have to foul immediately, and they do. And Rashard Lewis is the guy that Stan Van Gundy wants going to the foul line.
Cleveland has no timeouts left. So you're seeing John Kuster on the sideline, who does a lot of their offensive coordinating here as LeBron knocks in that long 3. So close to being out of bounds over on that sideline. But Kuster right now drawing up a play on the fly with his team because they have no timeouts. So whatever they do on the run here. Now the question is, if Orlando makes both free throws and Cleveland takes the ball and is dribbling into the backcourt, Marv, do you take the foul and not even give them a chance to get a 3 off? But you have to be very careful not to let them get in the shooting motion. All that is moot if Lewis doesn't make both free throws.
Lewis 4 of 4 at the, he misses on the first. The Cavaliers still alive with 3 2/10 seconds to go. The Magic up by 1.
You better not let LeBron get his hands on this ball. He's going to want to catch it on the run. You got to make him catch the ball going back towards the basket, and you cannot foul.
Orlando in their prevent defense as they drop back. 3 2/10 seconds remaining. Mo Williams will throw it in. They're doubled on LeBron. Here's the peg into James across midcourt. He fires for the win. The Orlando Magic escape with an overtime victory. 116-114.
When that shot went up, tell me, did you think it was going in by LeBron? I mean, look at this shot. I mean, you expect that shot to go in. Marv, how about the games that we have had? Every 3 of the 4 games have gone down to the last shot. This shot goes in, Cleveland wins. In game 1, Mo Williams' shot goes in, they win. LeBron's in game 2. Turkoglu obviously excited. LeBron James very disappointed. Down 3-1 going home. Tough road here for Cleveland.
And the Magic had lost 6 times in the postseason, with 4 of the losses the result of buzzer beaters. So you can imagine what was going through their minds. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Dwight, 10 of your points in the fourth quarter. You went to the free throw line. Doug Collins said this is where great players put their teams on their shoulders and don't let them lose. 10 points in the fourth quarter. Why were you so active and so confident even with the 5 fouls?
Well, yeah, I had to get myself going. My teammates found me in the right spot to score, but I just kept fighting. You know, I don't want to lose. I hate losing, especially on my home floor. And we just came out ready tonight, and we kept it going. We kept fighting to the end.
In a game that's decided by 2 points in overtime, so many key plays. One of them, Rashard Lewis, hitting that big 3 with less than 5 seconds to play. How much confidence you have in him and his quick release?
Well, you know, Rashard can shoot, you know, and every time he get a clean look at the basket, we believe it's going to go in. And, you know, we kept fighting. That's what we do. We fight to the end. You know, Rashard hit a big shot. You know, now it's time to close it out.
Now, this game went to overtime, but you thought you were fouled on the final play of the regulation with Andy Bergeron. What happened on that play from your standpoint?
Well, you know, I don't know. You know, I didn't want to get into it with him, get another technical foul, and thank God I did. But, you know, the biggest thing tonight is he went to the free throw line and knocked down shots when it counted.
You mentioned the technical foul. Obviously, the league will look at that, but why did you think you got it, and what happened?
I don't know. You know, I hope the league look at it. I was just showing emotion because I made the basket. It wasn't turning. I wasn't doing anything to the other team. I was just happy because I made the basket. And, you know, we get emotional out here on the court. And, you know, they shouldn't give me a take for that.
Your Olympic teammate, LeBron James, played the entire second half in overtime, made an unbelievable 3 to make this go down to the wire. But you had a key block on him as he went to the hoop. Did you see him tiring at all, and how were you able to time that block?
Well, he didn't look tired. You know, he just he looked like a 50-footer from half court, you know, so he didn't look tired. But we kept fighting. And, you know, I love playing against him. He brings out the best in all of us. So just thank God we got to win tonight.
You're up 3-1. Do you have that killer instinct to close it out?
We got to have the killer instinct. We got to keep fighting. We want to win the championship, but this is what it takes. We got to fight for 4 games. When we're trying to win, we got to fight. That's what we did tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Dwight. Let's get back to Myron.
All right, Craig, the Magic outscoring the Cavaliers 16-14 in the overtime. 10 of the 16 points scored by Howard, who finishes 27 points, 14 rebounds. How about the performance by Rafer Alston? 26 points, hitting 6 from downtown. 17 threes for the Magic tonight. 17 of 38, 45% from beyond that three-point line. And LeBron James, who played 49 minutes, goes 13 of 29 from the field, 14 of 18 at the line, 44 points.
How about this, though? In the 3 losses for Cleveland, LeBron has 49, 44, and 41.
But in overtime, the Magic, with a 116-114 victory, they lead this series in a surprise to many. 3 games to 1 over the team that went 66-16 of the regular season, the best record in the NBA. Thanks to our producer, Scooter Bertino, director Renato Loa, statistician Brian Taylor. Coming up next, following a quick break, we'll be back here in Orlando. Inside the NBA is next with Ernie Charles Kenny and Reggie. So for Craig Sager and Doug Collins, I'm Marv Albert saying good night from Orlando.